Hello everybody, it's Araki, and I haven't put a deck list out in almost a year. Last year I had top 32 two separate regionals with Satellarknight artifacts, and I didn't put the deck list up just because I was thinking I was going to do a lot more YCSs and a lot more regionals. So I was going to only really put up deck lists where I had top 8'd or top to YCS because I figured that's better content. But then real life things happened and I wasn't able to go to many events last year. But this weekend, me and my team went out to Columbus Regionals and I got 5th place. So I figured I'd show off the deck. This weekend I played Qli. A lot of people don't like the deck because of towers, but I like it just because I think it's a really consistent deck. It's really good at just stunning your opponent and having opportunities to search and always have a steady flow of monsters. So, 2 scouts, 2 monolith, 3 stealth, which is the MVP monster, 3 carrier, 3 helix, and then I played 1 disc, 1 cephalopod, and 1 shell. I like the versatility of playing all 3. My teammate wanted me to play 2 shell, but I like having the option to burn with cephalopod, and I actually ended up getting all their effects off. I summoned with disc to beat one of my opponents. I had summoned shell against PsyFrames, and since their monsters have 0 defense, I was able to pierce him with for 56, and then I burned somebody for 1500 for game 1 round with cephalopod. So they all worked out pretty good. And then last, 1 towers. I didn't make my build rely solely around powering out turbo or towers first turn, but having in different options really good when you know your opponent will lose to it, especially when you like out resource them and drop towers so that there's very little that they can do. And then last I played 2 Maxi. It's really good this format just because a lot of people are playing instant fusion, and Maxiing on an instant fusion is incredibly good, especially if they have to make a play to get around your board. 3 Summoner's Art, 3 Wavering Eyes, 3 Upstarts, 1 Sacrifice, 1 Book, and 1 Nergeki. 3 Lose a Turn, 3 Fiendish Chain, which is really good with stealth, because if you don't want to bounce back your scout to search again, and you really need a trap, then you could just bounce back Fiendish Chain and reuse it with stealth, which is really good. And then last, 1 Skill Drain, 1 Vanities, and 1 Torrential. And that's 40 cards in the main deck. My side deck was actually my favorite part, just because I used everything. 2 Lancia, which I used strictly in my Nekroz matchup. It was there for Rit Beast and Infernoids, but I didn't play any of them. And I know it's like subpar against both those decks, but it's really good to stop your opponent and then be able to make plays your next turn, especially in this deck. So 1 Dark Hole for Floodgate monsters, 2 Space Typhoon for any random thing. Usually a Decree, but Decree's not a huge problem against this deck because if they decree you, then you can just pendulum summon your monsters without fear. Usually a Helix, and then just summon your monsters, and they won't be able to respond because they've turned off traps anyways, and then just pop the Royal Decree with Helix, and then all your traps are live. So Space Typhoon wasn't that necessary, but it's good against certain things. And then Iron Wall, which is MVP. It's incredibly good this format. 3 Debunk. It was really good. I was expecting to play a lot more PsyFrames, so I thought that this would be even better. Not only that, it's super good against Kozmos. But I didn't play a lot of. I only played one Kozmos and one PsyFrame, and I actually drew my worst hands against Kozmos, and it was my only loss. But this card's really good. I think especially right now since people are playing like Max C as well. 2 Light Mirrors for Satellarknights and Kozmos, and then Soul Drain and Mind Drain. I actually cut 1 Dark Hole to play another Mind Drain for PsyFrames, just because I thought a lot of people were going to be playing PsyFrames because it's like really hyped right now. And I know this is subpar, but I just wanted to have 1 extra card. And then last, the extra deck, which people think is not important, but I think it's really relevant, especially in a build like this where you Wavering Eyes away your monsters and you can make full boards. Volcasaurus, Pleiades, Diamond, Cowboy, Emerald, Rhapsody, Castell. Those ones are not as important, I don't think, but having them there obviously for the versatility is really good. Exciton Knight's really good when your opponent goes Royal Decree, and then you can Wavering Eyes away your pendulums or your scales, and then search Scout, and then Exciton their board when they have a Decree up. So he's really good. Him for protecting your floodgates. Abyss Dweller, Ptolemaeus, Diamond, and Durendal are the best plays, because if you Wavering Eyes against Burning Abyss or Shaddoll, then you can, if you Pendulum for 4, you can make any of these cards, and it's usually really hard for them to get around. And then last was Roach, which I really wanted for the Rip Beast matchup, which I think is really, really good in that matchup. And then the last card I played was Ragna Zero, but I don't know where I put it, so... But Ragna Zero is the 15th. So... over this weekend, I played 1 Dark World round 1, Satellar round 2, Kozmos round 3, and I lost to that, but that was actually my worst matchup like all day. And then the last rounds I played Nekroz round 4, Nekroz round 5, PsyFrame round 6, Shaddoll round 7, Nekroz round 8, and then my last matchup was against Shaddoll, and I won out after round 3. So it was a really good weekend. The deck was really consistent. I want to shout out my team because I decided with one of my teammates that we were going to play Qliphort. We worked on a list together, and he got 17th place, so it actually worked out really well. The deck's super good right now solely because, like, people are expecting to go against towers, and if you're not just putting towers on board and you're just floodgating them, it's really consistent. And not only that, most people are not siding against the deck, so that's also really good. Like, I didn't get Fairy Wind like one time. A lot of people didn't put Space Typhoons in against me, or they just weren't drawing them. I didn't get Ghost Ogred at all, so it all worked out really good. So look forward to some more lists. If me or anybody on my team top 8's another regional, then I'll put some more lists up. So, thank you, and until next time.